China imported a record-breaking 836 tons of silver in March, but exported 174 tons in May. What changed? I think I might have an idea.
The silver market moves fast, but prices move even faster. Subscribe to Silver Slayer for daily updates.
All right, folks, welcome back. We have a big video today, folks, so buckle up because we got some digging to do. Now, China is in a very peculiar situation, and I think with the information and the data I'm about to show you, things will start to make sense. And this is really big looking forwards on a global scale. So first, we have to look at what happened in March. Now, imports surged 78% in March as investors and manufacturers scrambled to secure metal. Talking a whopping 836 tons in March. I mean, look at this chart. But January and February also was massive. Look at this. This was another article that came out before all of the big noise about March. China silver imports hit record highs, nearly 800 tons in January and February. So they already accumulated nearly 800 tons in January and February, and then they did the whopping 836 tons in March alone. So China is racking up a lot of silver, which is a little interesting when you look at what happened in May. So we have a lot to put together. Now, I do want to first go over this article, why Chinese silver imports hit a record in 2026. But also, in the beginning of the year, China essentially banned silver exports. They only are allowing a total of 44 companies to export silver. So they are controlling the entire global flow of silver. So they control it all. And from a security perspective, you could see why that could be dangerous, and that is exactly why they're doing this. Check out this though. China on Tuesday named the companies that will be able to export tungsten, antimony, and silver during the 2026 to 2027 period. Now, those three metals heavily used in military. Antimony, I think, is what bulletproof vests are made out of or something along those lines. But this is all from a strategic, a very calculated plan. Now, this is from 2026 to 2027. The metal Beijing deems as critical to support its own industries. Total 44 companies will be allowed, and that's actually 2 more than in 2025 for silver, while tungsten and antimony are unchanged. Citing national security, China in the past 2 years has imposed a wave of restrictions to leverage its dominance in the mining and processing of critical minerals used in everything from smartphones, electric car batteries, to infrared missiles and ammunition in response to U.S. chip restrictions and tariffs. So I think things are starting to piece together, but we still have the latter half of the video of what's up with these exports then, and I'll share my theory on this as well. But before we dive any deeper into this video, I do have a small opportunity that I think you might like.
If you're looking to buy physical gold or silver from a trusted dealer with competitive pricing, email Miles Franklin at info@milesfranklin.com. Make sure you let them know Slayer sent you, because his audience gets access to a special price sheet that they don't advertise publicly.
All right, folks, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that announcement and take advantage of those silver deals. So let's keep moving on. Key takeaways. China's silver imports in March 2026 were 173% above the 10-year seasonal average, highest on record per Chinese Customs Authority data. 2 unrelated forces drove it simultaneously: retail investors substituting silver for gold after gold neared 5,500, and solar manufacturers racing to ship finished panels before China's April 1st export tax rebate removal. Which is actually interesting because April 1st is also when India basically pegged silver 10-to-1 with gold and made it redeemable as money. Silver is now leveraged and used as money for debts and anything, which is, I think, very, very groundbreaking for the entire world. I don't think India will be the last country to do this either, but just look at the dates. April 1st is their export tax rebate removal. The same exact day, India does that with silver, pegging it 10-1 with gold. Strong physical demand and falling spot prices can coexist. Chinese buying sets a floor, not the price. And there's a massive disconnect between Western price suppression and the Shanghai Gold Exchange, for example. You know, there's such a disconnect between the paper price and the physical price. The paper price is from the West because the COMEX is the ones that can oversaturate, overflood the market with paper contracts. In China, if you want a paper contract, you have to physically hand in the silver, the physical version of it. So you can't just create paper silver out of thin air. In China, you have to physically have it. So you're only going to get that paper contract if you put the physical metal in. That's a big difference. That means they can't just create umpteens amounts of silver out of thin air, flooding the market and saturating and basically just diminishing the price. Now China exports a net 174 tons of silver in May. Why in the world? What's the shift? Why the switch up? Well, China shifts to net silver exporters as export volumes remain elevated. Silver May imports dropped to 215 metric tons, while exports dropped slightly to 389 metric tons this month. So you can see here is the data. So China's silver imports had skyrocketed to over 800 metric tons in March as silver prices corrected strongly. Recent data from the World Gold Chart shows China has flipped to a net exporter of silver, a notable development given its traditional role as a major consumer. As of May 31st, China recorded 215 tons of silver imports alongside significantly higher exports of 389 tons, resulting in a net export of 174. So yeah, that's the mean. I mean, they imported a little bit, exported a lot more. Imported 215 tons, exported 389 tons. So they are down 174. This marks a continuation of the trend seen late 2024, where monthly exports frequently outpaced imports. So here are some of the key observations from this chart. Exports have strengthened markedly in recent years as China dominates the global refinery space, right? This is very calculated. Green export bars sustained high volumes, often exceeding 300 to 400 tons a month, with occasional spikes above 600. Imports remain volatile but have not kept pace with export growth. Blue import bars fluctuate mostly between 150 to 400 tons. Cumulative exports since 2015 now stand at 3,658 tons, reflecting consistent outbound flows. The red net import line has turned negative and stayed largely below zero through 2025 and into 2026, indicating China has become a net supplier to the global market during this period, which is a very good thing, I think, for industry. And you know, like when Elon Musk even tweeted about the silver shortage being so dangerous and bad for industry, you know, that I think speaks for itself. If we don't have enough silver to support the entire world with as much silver is needed into so many different industrial applications, you could see how that would be a massive problem. You know, there's no replacing silver. Like this person said, I forget who said it, I wish I knew, but probably back in 2019, maybe even 2018, they said, if you think we have enough silver to go green, you're living in la la land. And that hit hard because that was before the silver shortage was even really a thing. That's kind of what planted the seed for me to dive into the shortage. I started catching drift of these supply deficits. I started catching drift of the amount of silver we're going to be needing as we advance in this new green new digital era, technological era, where everything is, you know, digitalized, and how much silver is going to be needed versus how much is produced versus below ground supply versus above ground supply versus everything. And it just all started to show something very dangerous. And now China holding the entire world hostage of silver and who can get it and who can't get it and who's approved and who's disapproved and where it can go and where it can't go, how much they want, how much they don't want. That's dangerous. It's very dangerous. We are at the mercy of our enemies to get the most important thing in the world. That's very concerning. That's why I say it's a good thing when they are exporting. But anyways, this shift suggests several possible dynamics at play. One, strong domestic mine production combined with re-export activity. That's a good point. Maybe they can export it because they do have strong mine production, but there's very few silver mines, very few silver mines. It's mainly a byproduct. Like 70 to 75% of silver is found by accident. Or two, reduced industrial or investment demand inside China, freeing up supply for export. That's another, that also could be happening. Usually, and let's go to the third one. So arbitrage opportunities where silver is being exported to higher price markets, perhaps black market exports in India. That's also another important thing, that maybe now that prices are so cheap, they could still be selling it for a lot higher. I did just remember a story that I covered, though, that's really telling. China got caught with like millions of ounces of fake silver bars and fake gold bars, which I think is telling to some degree on the black market, because they mentioned this perhaps black market exports. There is a massive black market, and I just remember covering, I don't know if I made a full video out of it or just a YouTube short. I remember making the YouTube short about it. But China got caught with a lot, and I mean a lot of fake silver, and it looked great, and it even ended up in like legit dealers and businesses. And that's, you know, pretty scary to think about, but there is a black market. So for me, though, usually the truth lies with a little bit of all that. A little bit, I mean, all of it's probably true to some extent. It's not just number one or number three. It probably is a little of everything. Better mine production, maybe combined with re-export activity, reduced industrial investment demand, and, you know, maybe there's some opportunities for cheaper. So it's like, or to sell it for, you know, profit since it is cheaper. So that's probably all three, to be honest. So while China remains a major silver consumer over the long term, the current data points to a period of net supply coming from the country rather than net demand. This could act as a headwind for global silver prices in the near term, especially if export volumes remain elevated. Overall, the chart reflects a clear change in China's silver trade balance, moving from consistent net importer to periodic net exporter. The change is worth monitoring closely as a potential signal of shifting domestic fundamentals inside the Red Dragon. So yeah, my thoughts, they're like I said, it's probably a little bit of all three of those. A little bit of, you know, black market, they can get some nice profits, especially when they accumulate so much of it. You know, I mean, do you know how much 800 tons is? Like when China got caught with, I think 80 something tons of fake silver, it was like 1.9 million ounces. So think about 836 tons just in March, along with January and February, also accumulating about 700 million. I think it was like 300 and something million in January and 400 and something in February, or vice versa. So, you know, that's a lot of silver. So they don't need all that, right? They don't need all that, especially if industry is down a little bit. But anyways, though, I'm going to wrap this video up here, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, if you guys want to get your precious metals for cheap, hit up Miles Franklin. Send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let him know Slayer sent you. You can actually see Andy Sheckman right here. That is his company. Great guy. He allows my audience to get access to the special price sheet. Prices are down. Take advantage. Buy the dips. I promise you will not regret it. Someday you will be wishing you can be paying these types of prices again. You'll be fantasizing, man, I wish I could get silver at 70 bucks, 80 bucks, because it will be a lot higher. I love you all. Make sure you subscribe. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
The silver market moves fast, but prices move even faster. Subscribe to Silver Slayer for daily updates.